Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast. It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime! Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It's MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, Ride on Our Strength, and by Grunt Style. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here in the MRN studios in Concord, North Carolina, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. We're so glad you joined us here on the program. Coming up, we're going to talk to some big winners over the weekend. Danny Dietrich and the Buckeye Bullet, Dave Blaney, going to join us. Erin, I'm telling you, we went from the spring washout season to the elbows-up summer season.
Yes.
My gosh, there's been a lot of racing lately.
There sure has, and we're thankful for the good weather, but I'm sure there's some guys now that were, especially PA Speed Week, that were hoping for maybe one of those rainouts. They could have moved it down to July. That was 10 straight nights of racing.
10 straight nights of racing.
That's
It
a
was
lot.
phenomenal. Again, the Sage Fruit upcoming guest list is Danny Dietrich and Dave Blaney. I'd like to start off with the Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery Hot Topics, and Pennsylvania Speed Week is the hot topic, Erin. We've been doing Wing Nation for 6 or 7 years now. I don't know in that time that we've seen a Speed Week as well as that. Great weather. To me, the racing was phenomenal. There was a story every night, it seemed like.
Absolutely. There was a pass for the lead, or there was a lot of great stories came out of the Speed Week.
Did you see that Friday night where Lance's wing collapsed?
Oh, my God. That picture that is going around on social media where he's taking the checkered and his right front is about 3 feet off the ground is one of the coolest photos.
Did you see? I mean, the video, the last few laps.
Incredible.
Oh, my gosh. Unreal. Hodnett and Dietrich all over him, and Lance just doing everything to get to that finish line. We were on doing victory lane or driver introductions at Daytona on Saturday, and I'm just standing there minding my own business, and Ryan Newman comes up to me and says, "Oh, my God, did you see DeWeese last night? I can't believe he even did that." You know, when you have a guy like, I'm like, well, that's impressive, but when you have someone like Ryan Newman, they were just raving about it. It was unreal. 12 drivers completed in all 10 races. They full fields of cars everywhere. 74 drivers totally participated in Pennsylvania Speed Week. The winners list was amazing. Danny Dietrich, we're going to talk to Danny. 3 wins. Lucas Wolf, 2 wins. Lance Deweese, 2 wins. Trey Starks, Cole Duncan, and Kyle Larson each got a win. Ironically, the champion didn't get a win at all. It was Greg Hodnett.
Yeah, but he was consistent.
He was consistent. He about won Wednesday night at Port when he had the mechanical problem. It looked like there. And honestly, there was 3 or 4 other times you're like, well, we're just a turn away from Hodnett winning a race. The irony that strikes me about this is that he's been driving the last few years for Mike Hefner. This is the first year him and Mike have won the Pennsylvania Speedway Championship together.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
So, I mean, if you said to me, Pennsylvania Speedway champions, I would have Hodnett with the Hefner. This is the first one they did together, and they didn't get a win. But very, very fast along the way. So, we'll talk more about that with Danny Dietrich. I want to talk about this. We have such great racing across the 410 world and the 360 world. I want to tip the cap to our friends up at the Empire Super Sprints. It was Donath Motorworks, Empire Super Sprints, Central New York Speed Weeks. Again, 5 nights. They made it through. Okay, Erin, this blew me away. 22 drivers. Yeah. And these are family teams up here.
Absolutely. Most of these guys work somewhere, 9 to 5 during the week.
So, this is either work all day, go to the racetrack, or vacation time.
Yeah, you're taking time off.
One or the other, okay? 62 total drivers participated. This is a number that blows me away.
Me too.
The average car count of 39 cars. Highest car count was the last night. 42.
Which you expect it to be the opposite.
The opposite, okay? Here's where I come down, or here's what this makes me think of. All of these regional tours are like track promoters, please put us on here. Please put us on here. If you're showing up averaging 39 cars, and you're doing what the Empire Super Sprints are doing, yes, you still have to sell to tracks to get dates. Yeah. But, boy, it's a whole lot easier sell with them saying, well, we're hoping to bring 10 or 12 cars in.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we're going to have a full B main is very appealing.
Very appealing. 5 different winners: Danny Varon, Chuck Hebing, Steve Poirier, Justin Poirier, Matt Tanner, and Danny Varon was the champion. A tip of the cap to everybody. Yes. Empire Super
all my
Sprints.
Old buddies.
All your old buddies. Man, that's one of those that every year I sit there and say, man, that'd be fun because I'm from that area, so it'd be fun to catch up with old friends and everything, but it's always Daytona Speed Weeks or Daytona race. So
that real job.
That's a bucket list one, but that's not one of those that it's not high on the bucket list because I don't know that it's realistic. But man, that'd be fun to just go up there for 5 straight nights and go to Can-Am and go to Fulton and go to Brewerton and those tracks, Utica Row. Man, there's great tracks up there. So congratulations to everyone at Empire Super Sprints, the Donath Motor Works, Empire Super Sprints, Central New York Speed Week. Well done, everybody. And finally, on our Classic Ink screen printing hot topics, Dave Blaney. He was on last week too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was on last week. Well, Blaney's hogging all the hot topics, but he won his his dad's memorial race, and we're going to talk to Dave as well. So there you have it, our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Great T-shirts, hats, hoodies, towels, and a whole lot more. You can find out more information at www.classicinkusa.com. Double D, Danny Dietrich, he joins us next.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy, original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
O'Reilly. Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All canister wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 2 Armor All canister wipes for $8. Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All canister wipes. Buy 2 for $8 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Stevie Smith, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Let's go to the Weld Racing Hotline. Joining us now after 3 wins, took the most money out of Pennsylvania for Pennsylvania Speed Weeks. Danny Dietrich's on the line. Hello, Danny. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, how are you doing, Steve?
I am doing well. Are you rested and recovered here on a Tuesday after 10 straight nights?
I think it'll take one more good night's sleep, and I think we'll be ready to go racing again.
Oh, man. I saw that tweet that you were fantasizing about a frozen beverage and a pool or something like that. It made me laugh.
Yeah, the beginning of the week was pretty rough with the heat. Just really wore you out early.
Yeah, for sure. So one night you passed Lance DeWeese for the win at Port Royal. Another night you passed Kyle Larson for the win at Lincoln. Talk about the wins and how, obviously, other than those first few nights, quite a successful week.
Yeah, just the whole week was good. The racing was good, and the intensity, there's so many people there. The fan support was so good this week that it just makes the wins even more exciting. Getting to pass Kyle Larson and Lance, it's some pretty big names there. Then most people don't get a chance to pass them.
Danny, can you describe? I mean, I know we'll go to a race a lot of times. We'll catch up with you. We'll stand around afterwards and have a beer. Then you'll go and everything else. Speed Week though, there's no time for standing around. The routine on average. How much did you sleep on average? What time? Just what was the routine like?
Well, we're getting home at 2 a.m. Without even going to the car wash was getting old. The only thing, that's about the only complaint. You hear about people in the pit area is just how late we were getting out of the racetrack this week, and if it could start a little earlier, it'd be great. But we're not complaining. I mean, we would start, the crew and I would start later in the day, get a good night's sleep, and we don't worry too much about making the car look really, really fancy and clean. So we get her washed off with a hose and do our good maintenance over and 3 hours we can be ready to go. So we would get back around 2 and probably get up around 9 or so and get about 6 hours of sleep and just kept plugging away at it.
That's impressive. Danny, I saw a lot on social media complimenting you on spending time with fans, waiting to sign the last autograph every night. You're talking about 6 hours of sleep, but yet you're still taking time for the fans. Talk about just how important that is to you and why you're one of those drivers that is willing to stay that late.
Well, you don't get many opportunities to stick around and greet the fans, and for whatever reason, it seemed like this week fans came into the pit area a little more than what they normally do. I don't know the reason why, but typically when the race is over, fans tend to go home. I don't know if it's they took off work to go to Speed Week or what, but it was kind of neat to hang out there. We were having some good nights, and when you're having a good night, it's easy to hang out and enjoy a couple beverages and see the fans come down and have the kids sit in your car and. It's definitely easier when you have good nights. You have bad nights and you just want to get out of the racetrack about as quick as you can without anybody seeing you. But it was a good week all around. It makes it more enjoyable to be at the track and just enjoy the people that are there.
Danny, what always fascinates me about racing in Pennsylvania is, okay, Speed Weeks is great. Yes, you're catching your breath. You need one more sleep. And then we have a tune-up race, and you know what's coming after the tune-up race, okay? The World of Outlaws are coming to town, and hopefully Mother Nature stays away first and foremost. But when I look at Pennsylvania, it looks to me like there's 4 or 5 really fast race cars. How do you assess the speed in Pennsylvania, just overall what the state of it, 410 racing is right now in Pennsylvania, as far as looking at drivers like yourself in that top tier? How do you feel about your chances? How do you feel about your speed?
Well, if we can get the rain to stay away, I think we got some pretty good chances, Steve. I think the rain's gone. I don't think there's rain for the next 7 days. So it's going to be about 20 days of no rain, it feels like. But I think our chances are good. I think our car is fast. I think Lance has a really fast race car. Greg's really consistent. I think it's just a matter of time till he breaks through and gets a bunch of wins. I think that between the three of us, we have a really good shot. If Brock can find a little more speed and consistency, I think he could win some races. I just think that on a consistency, and Lucas is fast as well. I think out of Lucas and Lance and myself and Greg, I think we can beat the Outlaws when they get to town.
Well, after passing Lance one night, passing Larson another night, beating all these guys, talk about your confidence yourself with the Outlaws coming to town.
Well, it's just not me; it's the whole crew. I mean, when we go to the track, we're getting to the point where Jake and Chuck and myself, we almost don't even need to communicate when we want to make a change. We already kind of know what we want to do. You can just kind of read each other's minds. Everybody does their own thing, and when we're done kind of catching up before the A main, we've already got everything done that we all figured we were going to do, and we've really come into our own here as far as gelling together, and boy, does that make it easy to drive a race car when everybody's on the exact same page.
I can imagine. I really can. Danny, before we cut you loose here, watching some of the races, it looked to me, and I know early season, first off, we've had the weather, and tracks have been a challenge. And I know that, there's one day on Twitter you're critical of a track operator, and the next day on Twitter you're complimentary of them. What I saw watching the Speed Shift videos, it looks like, I'm looking at that Saturday night at Port, that looked unreal. But, I mean, it looked like across the board, things were pretty racy up there as well.
This was probably the best week we've had in a long time. And I gave props where they were, credit where credit was due this week. I really think that the format worked for whatever reason. It really worked this year. It's been quite a few speed weeks since we've had an exciting speed week like we did. And I don't know what's different about it. If the tracks got a little bit better on the surface, we had some pretty good surfaces this week, but there was a lot more passing than what we've had other years. There wasn't a lot of front row winners and people running away with it, so that was good, and that gets people out and enjoying the sprint car racing here in PA. If we could do that every week, Steve, Erin, that's going to get people in the fans in the stands, and that's what we want. That's how we can have the big shows like we had this week.
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. I couldn't wait I'm like reloading Speed Shift every time. I'd read the stories and everything and just watch it along the way. So, Danny, great stuff. Congratulations on all the wins and everything. Best of fortune this weekend, but even more than that, best of fortune next weekend along the way when the Outlaws roll in there. As always, we appreciate the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
There we go. That is Danny Dietrich. And I agree with his assessment.
Yeah.
There have been times, I think, and I even wonder this spring if the World of Outlaws rolled in there, if it's not Lance versus the World of Outlaws.
Yeah.
I agree with Danny's assessment. There are 4 or 5 guys. Now, you got to go into the World of Outlaws because the World of Outlaws are coming with an army.
Oh,
You know, I mean, there's 10 World of Outlaw cars that are bad fast.
Yep.
You got one posse car that's fast. Now you got 5, and then you throw in a Brock Zierfoss, a Freddie Raymer, guys like that can find that magic anytime. I think the next time, and I know we're spinning ahead a week here, but I just think that when they roll in there, I think we've got ourselves a war when they roll in.
I agree, and I think just what you said, in the spring, they hadn't raced a lot, ton of rainouts. Now they've done 10 straight nights of racing. They've got the momentum. They're in their groove. I 100% agree that they're going to put up a good fight.
I think this is going to be fascinating. I really do think it is. And the one thing I respect about Danny, I love listening to him talk about tracks because it's not like he's on here blowing smoke up somebody's skirt. When the track's not good, the track's not good. You just heard it. Danny was talking. The tracks have really done a good job. Let's hope that continues along the way because a good racetrack means guys like Dietrich can put on a great race. And boy, we saw it over Pennsylvania Speed Weeks. We need to step away. When we come back, the Buckeye Bullet, Dave Blaney, he joins us next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken a checkered flag on Weld racing wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld racing wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld racing wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
Hi, I'm Dale Blaney, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Welcome back. Thank you, Dale. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires here on the Motor Racing Network. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. Birthday's coming up tomorrow. Buddy Cable. How about our buddy Jacob Allen's birthday's tomorrow?
Look at that. He's been rolling lately.
Yeah, he has been. That's it. Max Dumsney, Sam Hanks coming up, Ray Crawford, Ricky Hood, my buddy Ricky Hood on Sunday, Elmer George, Gene Martinez. Also, today would have been the birthday of Gary Patterson, okay, one of the true characters in the sport. GP, or he was the preacher, and I saw someone sent him an ordained minister thing. He didn't necessarily really have any desire to become a preacher, but he was ordained through some situation. He was ordained. But just a fascinating guy. Listen to his early life. Went to school, graduated out of Oregon, went in the military, was a drifter, got in a bar fight in Georgia, ended up spending 2 years in jail, came out, become a race car driver, totally independent. He was Outlaws. You know, the World of Outlaws started as we're not going to be USAC. Well, Gary made the point of, okay, that's great, but you become USAC because you want guys to commit to you. Never committed to anybody. He ran where he did, wherever he wanted to do. One of his mottos was, on the seventh day, God created dirt. That was
What?
one of his lines. They had that on all the T-shirts. Tragically, we lost Gary in a crash at Calistoga in 1983. So those are the stories you hear at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located turn number 2, Knoxville Raceway, right on the grounds of the Marion County Fairgrounds. Let's go back to the Weld Racing Hotline. Joining us, another story told in turn number 2, and he continues to write it after winning Saturday night's Lou Blaney Memorial. Dave Blaney joins us. Hello, Dave. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We are doing well. Congratulations. Second time to win your dad's memorial race. That's just got to be really cool to win that race.
It is. Honestly, it's tough to go up there and race in it. I seem to get overly excited at times and make mistakes, and I don't know, it's just bittersweet, the whole thing. But it's very cool when you see all the support from the racers and fans every year, and they raise a bunch of money for Alzheimer's Association, and that goes well, and a bunch of people put a lot of work into it, and people are outbidding money all day on it. So the whole thing is very cool, and glad we can do it.
Absolutely. Dave, talk about the race. The track was slick from top to bottom, but Sharon is such a fun place to race. You had, so many guys hunting down your neck. But talk about, just keeping momentum, keeping consistent.
That track is pretty much the same every time you go. It's slick and smooth and wide, and you can race all over it. And they did a little water before the main. They usually do a little bit on the top, a little bit on the bottom. And the bottom was a little bit more brown, a little bit more grip. So I started down there, but thinking I'm going to have to go up to win the race. And it kind of never. I made some laps up there, and I couldn't clear that part up there. Just gave up and ran around the bottom, and we hung on.
Hung on indeed and scored the win. Dave, it's been an interesting year for you, I would say. We've talked to you over the last 4 or 5 years as you've kind of dabbled and picked and chose and moved around in the sprint car world. And you had to deal with Dan Motter over the last year or two. But this year you've teamed up you got the 70 car rolling, and you're running the full all-star schedule. You ran all of Ohio Speed Week. You're wide open with it. You're full-blown sprint car now. How would you assess how it's going? Do you feel back up to speed? How would you assess where you're at right now?
First thing I'd say is watch what you wish for. I wanted to race more than I am, but now it's a lot. So, but we've gained a lot of ground. We've last good enough to win and been close, and finally got. It's gratifying when you can make some progress and find some things in your car, and part of that is just racing more, and the more you race, the better you get driving it, the better you get working on it and knowing what it wants. So hard to replace laps.
Absolutely. Now, Pete Grove has been a car owner in the Ohio area for a long time. Have you ever driven for him before? And when you put this deal together for this year, who's crew chief? How it seems like it's taken a little bit, but man, lately you guys have been super fast.
Well, I've known Pete for a long time. He drove an IMC modified for him a few times. He had those years ago, and yeah, like I said, I was wanting to race more this year, either race more or not race at all. So I knew people. We put it together last fall. Some sponsors like Mohawk has been helping me for a long time, and it's all worked well. It's just with me since Ryan was running K&N. He's been at my shop here, and so it's just he all year. So it's a lot of work, but we're hanging in.
And you're still doing this based in North Carolina, correct?
Yeah, that's a little harder too. We both, Eric's lives here and got kids, and so we don't come back ever, but most weeks we do.
Wow, that's crazy. Now you got the big Kings Royal coming up, 2-time winner. Talk about what it's like to go into it now, running this full season with the All-Stars and running so well. And Eldora has always been one of your strong suits.
Well, it was in my younger days, put it that way. But we did run Ohio Speed Week there and led the race for a while and had a chance to win it and run well. So that made it an easy decision to go back and see what we could do this week. But it's a different racetrack now a little bit. It used to be, crazy, top dominant, and now it's, kind of never know what you're going to get. You can kind of race all over it. So different thing, and we get the car, but it's so hard. We get the car really good, but you got to run good all night, every night to have a chance. So we'll see what we can do.
See what you have. That's for sure. Dave, I am telling you, I watched the race at Joliet. That was a thrill, and I know it was a thrill. You didn't even win the race, and 21st to second was unreal. You had that car rolling around the bottom like most guys wish they could hit the top. I mean, so impressive, and glad you won the memorial race there along the way. We wish you the best, and who knows, maybe we'll dial you up after a big win here over the next couple of weeks. But continued success as you continue down the road of sprint car racing.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
There we go.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Erin.
You got it. There we go. The Buckeye Bullet, Dave Blaney. That just fascinates me how and I know last week I just came in here just unreal. It was like, just shut up about Blaney. But when you watch that, you watch a Hall of Famer, a Knoxville Nationals champion, a World of Outlaw champion, who has stepped away for 15 years or whatever, 15 years or longer maybe, and then coming back and now getting the handle on it, the handle on it. And I'm telling you, and I know he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
He messes up and wins Saturday night at the King's Royal, they're just going to have to rebuild the whole place because the fans in Ohio they'll tear that place down.
Absolutely.
I mean, but he's good enough. Yeah, we understand. Nobody's down his shots. Okay, so there's one guy that's favored to win it, and everyone else has got a shot, and he's in that has a shot category.
Absolutely, it's been really neat to watch his progress coming back. I mean, he's Dave Blaney, of course, he's super talented, but like you said, to take that time off, come back, and now getting in his groove, running full time, which sounded like it was a little more than he thought it was going to be, but it's really neat to watch that.
Neat moment up there at Joliet. His son Ryan, we got a chance to see him because NASCAR was running around on the same property, and chatted with Ryan after that race, and Ryan was chatty. Which, if you get a Blaney that's chatty, Dale will talk pretty good.
Yeah.
Dave and Ryan are a little bit quiet. When you get a Blaney that's chatty, something good happened. Ryan was pumped up about his dad and watching that race. We need to step away. More Wing Nation coming up in just a moment.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is open year-round 7 days a week for race fans to celebrate sprint car racing. With over 30 original open-wheel race cars and sprint cars on display, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, movie theater, and the world's largest selection of sprint car merchandise. Visit our online store at sprintcarstuff.com to view all of our sprint car merchandise. Or when in Knoxville, stop by the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located in the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Joey Saldana, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
Oh, my. We have got racing tonight.
Cannot
we don't
wait.
have to wait. Our buddy Brad Doty.
Yep.
The Brad Doty Classic, Attica Raceway Park. Folks, if you're within, it's 12:30 here. So if you're within 4 or 5 hours, jump in the
6, 7.
Drop. Yeah, well, you can get there. Well, the problem is you won't get a seat if you get there. Yeah. Well, you still be there. They'll sell you a ticket. But just drop everything right now. Just stop what you're doing and get in the car and go to Attica, okay? This one here kicks off the month of money. Last year, the biggest single-day field of cars. I would be shocked if they don't have a huge field of cars again. Ohio is such a rich area with sprint cars. Attica, just a great track.
Yes.
World of Outlaws coming in there, loaded for bear. Who's going to win? We've got the natural rivalry there. Remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago at the Attica race before it was the Doty, you look at the podium and there wasn't a World of Outlaw driver to be seen.
I do remember that.
So you throw in the All-Star guys, you throw in the Attica guys, you throw in the World of Outlaw. Oh, my God, it is going to be epic tonight. Okay, so dirtvision.com has it. Need to also mention that our friends at the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, they're out in Wyoming.
Yes.
And so Racing Boys, we've got a twin spin tonight. Oh, my
Two
gosh.
devices.
Well, yeah, they've already danced. Matt Covington and Skylar G danced with the Grizzly Bear.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm calling out, okay, I'm calling out our buddy Wayne Johnson and Blake Hahn. The last 2 years, they swept the weekend, and they're standing over there scared of the bear, okay? Not Matt Covington and Skylar G. They put food in their mouth and had the bear eat it from them.
Heck no.
Yes. So that's it. Then we have the Kings Royal coming up this weekend.
Yeah,
How
the
about
Joker's
that?
Wild.
The Joker's Wild Thursday night.
Right
Yes,
there.
Joker's Wild Thursday night. So all the latest information, you can find it at www.wingednation.com. Coming up, our Aggressive Hydraulics calendar. Kerry Madsen on Thursday's preview show. And David Gravel joins us on Saturday on MAV TV. Woohoo! Talking sprint car races. Our favorite time of the week. So what a ball. We've had a blast talking to Danny Dietrich and to Dave Blaney. But more important than all of that, we appreciate you joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Wing Nation can be found on demand at MRN.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.